Whew, hey family, look, mama been on a long journey, okay? Y'all see all these gray hairs up in here? Mama been on a long journey, but she gotta come back to you and let you know what's been going on. I've been going through some life changes. That's what they are. They're life changes. I've been trying to sit down and kind of like put two and two together to kind of come up with exactly what it is. And the only thing I can come up with is life changes. Mama always tell you what's going on. She gonna tell you what's going on in this world of magic, whether it's good. So some people say good, and some people say bad. Mama's gonna let you know what's going on, but you need to know everything. You need to know the goodness. You need to know the unrighteousness, the whole everything. You got to know about the dark. You got to know about the light. I want to share with you all who are um what's the word, who are ready for this. I would like to share something with you. This right here may not be what's the word, pleasant for many of you. For some people may be a little bit scary, but you need to know about all of this because there comes this time when we have to transition and make it on over to the other side. A lot of you may have not even ever thought about it, but you know, it has happened. I think it has happened to me several times. This time, this time will probably make the fourth. This time was a little bit more interesting. Now, I know y'all saying, please get to the point. I'm talking about death, or not just death, but I don't want to use the word death because nothing truly dies. But what's the word? The beginning of the end. Okay, something interesting happened to me. And at the time, I didn't really know what was going on. But I don't want to go into too many details of what it is. I'm not. That's gonna take away from it. I don't want to talk about that. I want to get down to the heart of the matter. And a lot of practitioners need to hear this. A lot of people who are doing research, who are searching, they need to know about this. When death comes, you get a warning. You get a warning. Not only do you get a warning, then people are like, people may say, well, you're not dead, so how you know? You haven't died or whatever. But I got a chance to experience something that was totally different. Let me get to it. So some little incident happened. Don't want to go too much into it because that'll just be way all out of the place. So there was this particular night. This was around the time I was telling you all about the incident of being in the church, and when I was like trapped in this church, and I had to break so many doors to get out, and I drew some pictures, and I was in the year 2027. All of this was around this time, but at the time I didn't tell you all about it because I couldn't, I couldn't make any sense out of it at that particular time. I didn't know how they coincided with each other, but now I think I'm kind of figuring it out. So around this particular time when Mama talked about that astral travel when she went to the year 2027, it's around this same. The dream went into different phases. Remember the little baby with the black lips that told me her name was Velvet and all of that stuff like that. This all happened that particular night. So, you know, I was just outside, you know, in this travel. And y'all travels are really real. This astral travel was just like me sitting here talking to y'all. And all of a sudden, I had this overwhelming feeling to go outside. I went outside and looked in the sky. It looked like it could be about 11 o'clock in the afternoon, or in the morning, I'm sorry. And there was this, I looked in the sky and there was this big white cloud. it burst, you know. And when it burst, I was looking at it and it felt like an x-ray hit me. When that burst, everything looked like an x-ray. There was no color, just black and white. It was a quick x-ray flash went through my body. I ran in my house and I went to my basement. There were a lot of strangers in my basement that I did not recognize. They were all sitting there. And I was like, telling them this great experience I had of seeing what looked like a beta, not a beta, but a alpha burst. I think that's what it was. They said it was an alpha burst. And they were like, oh, wow, serious? I said, yeah. They said, do you feel okay? I said, I feel fine. And I turned around. There was this very dark-skinned lady sitting there with an usher dress on, like they wear in the church. It was white. She had a white little handkerchief on her head, like, or something like that. Look like, what the back in the 60s, what they would wear, like white cloth on their head. And she had on some white gloves. She had some real big hips. She was sitting in a folding chair that stood out. She was just immaculate, crisp. Her clothes were so clean. She had some stockings on and some white nursing shoes, and she looked like she could be about 70. And she was sitting there crying. Matter of fact, my basement, looked like my old church basement that I used to go to before the tornado tore it down. And I looked around and the lady was crying. And it touched me and I said, ma'am, it was so emotional. Why are you crying? She said, because baby, you fixing to die. And you don't have long to live. And I looked at her and I was just like, it was just like, it was no fear. I just told her, I said, thanks for letting me know, thank you. I thanked her and I felt like there were so many things I needed to take care of and do and all of those different things. I said, well, let me go and do what I got to do, But I said, I feel fine. She said, you've been exposed to radiation. And she said, all the cells in your body are being broken down. And she said, you fixing to be gone, baby, And I felt so, it was the word, I don't even know what I was feeling. I just knew that I needed to go and do something, So I went out and I was in this big park and I was talking to some young lady with her baby and I told her what happened. I said, I've been exposed to radiation. I experienced a gamma. That's what it was a gamma burst. And I told her, I said, all of my cells are breaking down, but I said, I feel fine. She said, oh, the same thing happened to me too. She said, just about all of us have experienced the gamma burst. We all are going to die. And it was just a place full of just people. And I said, who are all of these people? She said, we all are in this place because we've been exposed to this gamma burst. And then from there, that's when I went into the other dream that we talked about on that video. Remember, 2027, that dream took me somewhere else. So I got up that morning and that shook me up. I called my aunt and everything. My aunt was like, she said, that heifer don't know what she's talking about. And she said, a dream does not mean that you're going to die. She said that dream means that there's the beginning of something new, something else, whatever, the way she explained it. So I was like, still just taken and shooken up, just beyond, I was just gone, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, this experience, because this lady looked real. And I was like, who is she and where is she from? So some interesting things started to happen to me after that, which I realized and got some things in check. It was like, hey, this lady was letting me know. Y'all, I'm going to go into detail of what it really was. She saved my life. She saved my life. Had to do some things, and I'm going to talk to y'all about it one day, but I really want to tell y'all when you're dying what it's like. A lot of y'all might be too fearful to see this, and don't look like I got much time to tell you, but check this out, y'all. I ain't going to have much time. Look, I started noticing stuff like this white film would just be in front of me. A white film. Like, what is that? I couldn't see sometimes past it. Like a white curtain, a veil. It was like I was here and there. Here and somewhere else. I would hear all kind of sound all over my house. Moans. Faces in my curtains of familiar people that I've seen before that have passed on were in my curtains. I would hear moans. I would hear cries like the banshee. I could hear them. And I was just like in a whole nother, I was fixing to transition and go. Now that's what I'm coming up with now. But I was fixing to transition and go somewhere else. This the part that might scare a lot of y'all. And I look like I'm gonna have to come back and tell you because I don't want to take no chance. This gonna get you right here. And I'm coming back because I want to tell you all more. Okay? Hang on.